Squared Probiotic Power Warehouse.
All righty. Yeah. So
I'm losing my voice now. I didn't have this problem before we started. But
well, I interviewed Heather twice back in October. And so we didn't do like a live broadcast from it, but we went through the whole P2 story or P squared. We say P squared?
I don't know. Everybody calls it P2, but it's really P squared, but it doesn't matter. So.
I'm going to start calling it P squared. What the heck? The P squared. So anyway, we went through the whole story. We went through Heather's story, how she ended up creating the product. And so we're going to end up doing a little bit more of that today, talking about that. But we're here in the warehouse and we'll actually show some of the product and we'll describe what some of them are. So that's what the plan for today is. Now I've got a great rest of the week already lined up. Everything is scheduled. Tomorrow on Wednesday, Tamara Fleming, my coach and mentor from Montana, themeaningofspace.com. She will be joining us and we'll be talking about how the physical space that you work in and live in can actually change you. She's all about transformation and she's committed to helping people create the space around them so that it actually influences and creates the life that they want. On Thursday, Gwen Peterson, and she is the founder of Spiritual Communities Network, and they are helping spiritual workers, spiritual entrepreneurs create their business and get some traction by teaming up together. A lot kind of like spirituality gone wild, a different flavor, different version of that. So she's going to join us on Thursday. And then Friday, Victoria Reynolds comes back and joins us. Victoria is who I stayed with in California when I was on my drive across America. And she is going to talk about her personal declaration of independence. So that's what's scheduled. So you're going to come back and join us in a couple minutes, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
And what we'll do in the meantime is we got Brandon Schaefer, who's going to join us and give us some simple motivation since it's Tuesday. And then I'll come back and I'll do a short monologue. And then we'll have you come back and we'll spend the rest of the time going through the P squared products. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All righty. All right. Let's see if Brandon is available for us. Brandon is available, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the theme song first because that's what we like to do around here. So just hold on a second there, Brandon. Let me make sure I got the right opening. All righty. Hey, Brandon, how you doing this morning?
Steve, how are you doing, man? It's great to be here, man. I am so freaking proud of you, man. You look awesome outside of your office on the road, man. I'm just gushing with pride today.
Well, thank you. We're going to try to do this at least once a week going forward, where I get my butt out of the house. The country's opening back up, and we go out and we actually meet people and talk to them. That was the original vision for American Gumption, and now we're going to just start making it become a reality.
I love it, man. I love it. You're in your element, 100%. You on the road is where you belong, man. That's it.
So, what are you thinking this morning? What are you going to share with us?
I'll do well, Steve. You know me. I wake up in the morning every single day and I come downstairs. I get a cup of coffee and I write down something that's on my mind. And today I wrote down just always continue to come up with new ideas, right? So what I did yesterday is good, but I always want to continue to move forward and think differently. And if I have an idea, I want to expand upon that idea because a lot of times in my life, I don't know exactly where I'm going to end up. And that's why I just need to keep moving forward day after day. And if I have an inkling of an idea, I start to head in that direction a little bit, or perhaps I'll implement it in a future day coming up, or next week or next month or something else like that. And I'll try it and see how things go. And it's just like you're doing today. You're out on the road. This is kind of an old idea, but you're getting back to it today. And it just opens up a whole horizon. It makes me feel more fulfilled. I feel fulfilled for you. I feel fulfilled for myself when I'm introducing new ideas into my life. And in the end, it's just all about feeling good, man. You got to do stuff that makes you feel good about yourself. And and coming up with new ideas and actually implementing them is one of those ways. So really on board with you, Steve, man. I'm going to do some road trips with you.
That sounds good. I'm getting closer to you. I'm not all the way over to where you live, but I'm closer today to where you live than I was when I woke up this morning. So we're coming your way.
I love it, man. You always come up with new ideas, always willing to adapt, evolve, transition. You know, it's just changing that wind in the sail a little bit. You know, you change that slightest bit of angle, and all of a sudden you're going a little bit faster, and you're headed in that direction where you need to go. So special, man.
And the last thing I'll say is that I drove over here this morning. Just the drive had me seeing things, had me seeing buildings, had me seeing people, and it was already making me more creative, helping me come up with new ideas and be more anxious to get out there. So
100%. The sun shining brighter, the birds look better, the trees look brighter. That's what life is all about, brother.
Exactly. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate it. You've been with me since the very beginning, doing these weekly, updates. And so I sure appreciate your simple motivation as you bring each week. So thank you so much.
100%. Talk soon, Steve. Bye.
Bye. Alrighty, well, that was Brandon Schaefer, Simple Motivation. SimpleBusinessHelp.com is his website. I didn't change the banner this week, but we'll just assume that you remember it. SimpleBusinessHelp.com. And Brandon and his team, what they do is, if you have computers and technology that isn't quite connecting and talking to each other, maybe you have some accounting package and a sales package, and you need to, make sure that everything is syncing together. His team of geeks can make that all happen and come together. So SimpleBusinessHelp.com, and he's a great guy, and we love that he shows up here on Tuesdays and just gives a quick little dose of inspiration each week. So that's that. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and shift gears now, and I'm going to go ahead and do my monologue. And this is kind of fun just because everything's a little different when you're out on the road and you're doing it. And so I had to prepare and think about my monologue last night. A lot of times I would wake up in the morning and I kind of have an idea, but I just sort of make it up. And so last night I thought, how do I want to connect what we're going to talk about with Heather and P Squared? What do I want to talk about today? And I decided that health philosophies, and I've been thinking about this, but I have not spoken about it up until this point. So this is a first. So here's kind of my first pass at what my health philosophy is. So you have basically Western medicine, and you have like natural healing or homeopathic medicine. And so you either subscribe to one or the other. At least, again, this is my interpretation of it. And so what is the difference between those two? Well, homeopath is defined as, it's based on the belief that the body can cure itself. Those who practice it use tiny amounts of natural substances like plants and minerals, and they believe that these little supplements will stimulate the healing process. So that's certainly one definition with a little bit more meat on it. But basically, the human body has the ability to heal itself, and we want to look for natural ways to go about taking care of it. Now, Western medicine has a little bit different approach to things in that, they focus a lot on pharmaceuticals and on surgeries. And so we've gotten away from kind of taking care of ourselves, and we look to Western medicine to give us some kind of a supplement or a pill to cure what is probably a lifestyle of years and years that has broken the body down or damaged it in some way or another. So anyway, there's a bunch of different natural medicines, and I'm just going to name a few: acupuncture, homeopathy, naturopathy, Chinese or Oriental medicine. These things go back, centuries, millennium. These are old practices. The Native Americans had, their different herbs that they would use, the medicine people. And yeah, we kind of discounted that. We said, oh, that doesn't work anymore. And, that we end up, looking at, prescriptions, pills from a pharmaceutical company. And so there are all these natural medicines. And of course, there's the supplemental industry is a huge business. Lots of people take different supplements. I take supplements on a daily basis, believing that, it just helps it. The body has the ability to cure it, but as we age, we can get some enhancement and we can get some help with it. And of course, I'm a fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza and the Bruce Lipton, the biology of belief, and the idea that the placebo effect. And so if we take these things and we believe they're going to help us, it does really help us. And just like if we go to a doctor who has like a real strong, energetic idea about this is going to help you, it often does help the person. So anyway, I think the biggest difference that is between the two is one, it involves a lot more personal responsibility and you taking control of your own health and, doing some of the research and looking at things and trying to analyze what's the underlying cure. And the other one gives your power away to somebody else and saying, hey, what's wrong with me, doc? What can you do to help me out here? And so, I think Western medicine is excellent and fantastic at any kind of acute or trauma type of an injury. If you're in an automobile accident and you get broken up, you want Western medicine to put you back together. And they have done fantastic work in their ability to, make the body come back together and replace parts, just like, worn out knees and hips and shoulders that people have. And so medical miracles in terms of the technology and all that's a good thing. But if you have an acute or if you have a chronic, some kind of a long-term issue, then I think that the natural healing is a way you want to go. And Lisa says, this is my philosophy. This is what I believe is you want to, try to find what's the underlying cause of it, and a lot of times it comes down to choices that we've made. What are the foods we're eating? What are the supplements that we take or don't take? Are we exercising and moving and, the whole lifestyle and the environment? And the environment can have physical things, that affect us. If you work at some kind of a plant or factory where you're exposed to lots of chemicals on a regular basis, that's going to wear your body down. And then emotional, who are you surrounding yourself with in terms of what kind of people are feeding positive energy or maybe not so positive energy. And then of course, spiritual, what are you doing in the spiritual realm in order to keep yourself healthy? So all these things like kind of are part of what I call the natural medicine and the natural healing. So I am not anti Western medicine. Again, I think it's perfect for acute or any kind of trauma injuries, short term, but any kind of a long-term chronic illness, I believe we need to go more with a Western or more with a homeopathic or a natural and look at that and educate ourselves and learn more about it. And I'm only learning about it. I've been exposed to this all my life, but I'm by no means an expert at it. And so hopefully in the coming months, I'll be talking to more people. But I wanted to mention all this today because the reason why I'm here at P Squared is the product that Heather has developed is part of that taking care of yourself. And so we'll go ahead and just wrap up the monologue portion and we'll invite Heather to come back and join us. So I think that's what we should do. So Heather, are you ready to come back and be part of the show?
I'm coming back. I'm going to try not to break my neck here, but I love the monologue, Steve.
Thank you. Yeah, every day I have to wake up and invent something new.
Actually, this was a great segue because, in the context of talking about Western medicine and homeopathic medicine, the marriage between the two is actually taking place, I believe, more than we think. Mm-hmm. So we need both, as Steve said. But I think the key here is that our brain, our mindset controls so much. And you talked about the placebo effect. Mm-hmm. And, many things do have a placebo effect. And I'd like to think that in the context of talking about P Squared probiotic power products today, that you understand that they actually do work. It's not a placebo effect. So we'll just talk about that. But I understand what you were saying. And with Tamara coming on tomorrow and talking about your environment and your space, it directly relates to what we're going to talk about today a little bit too, which is kind of cool. So
yeah. So we had talked back in October, and you were on the show twice, and we kind of did I did a little bit of a geeky thing where I kind of went into the science and the whole thing and tried to, I tried to really understand it and push you a little bit in terms of that. And I don't know if it was the most exciting conversation, so we'll probably not dive quite as deep into it, but we do need to talk about it because it's critically important. Yeah. So probably a good place to start with. Well, we could start in one of two places. We could, I guess, start first of all is, do we want to talk about just probiotics, what they are in general first, and then get into the biofilm, which is where, the probiotics do their thing, or do we want to just talk about the biofilm first and then talk about probiotics?
Well, I think we could talk about them in the context of both.
Okay.
So it's interesting because I took my first flight, in over a year recently, and I spray my stuff up in the air and on the seat and everything else. And people look at me and I said, you're the healthiest people on the plane right now because you're getting probiotics around you. Do you know what probiotics are? And half the time people are like, no. And I'm like, how can you live in this day and age and not know what a probiotic is? But anyway, probiotics, good bacteria, right? Okay. So I'll just do the basic right now. 2 types of probiotics, plant-based, that are kefir, supplements, in yogurt. They're temperature sensitive. They are fragile, and they don't necessarily work for the purposes of what we're going to talk about today. So spore soil-based probiotics.
But the plant-based ones, you said temperature sensitive, those are the ones that people know of to take as a supplement.
That's what you know as a supplement.
So that's kind of the most commonly known probiotic. Yeah. Somebody might take a supplement on a regular basis. They keep it in the refrigerator and they take the supplement and it basically helps their gut.
Yep.
Their digestive tract.
Yep. Thank you for that. The second kind, soil-based, so spore-based, not as common, and maybe you don't know about them unless you know me. So
I didn't know them until I knew Heather.
And so they can live between 32 degrees and 140 degrees. They've got long shelf life, almost infinite shelf life. And they do one very, very specific thing, which is fabulous. When you put them in the right combinations, they can actually go to the microscopic level of where you apply them and outcompete the yucky germs and viruses that are there by basically starving them to death and taking away their food. So
we think of clean, let's just use the countertop at home and the kitchen as your example. We think of clean as we spray something on and we wipe it down and it all is shiny and it looks nice and clean. But that's not the whole story, is it?
No, if it looks clean and smells clean, it's really not clean. So you're not clean unless you get down to that microscopic level. So if we think in the context of products that are out there that you might use, even a natural product like vinegar with lemon and citrus products, and whether it's bleach or disinfectants, they cannot get to that microscopic level. And some of them actually help create more of a problem for you if they are citrus-based. But the issue is most of the products that you would be using would kill all of the bacteria. And if they don't, it doesn't matter because you're only skimming the surface. You're only getting like surface dirt and grime off. You probably have heard of like if it's OxyClean or scrubbing bubbles. For some of us that are a little older, we remember that product. It has enzymes in it, and so it'll go a little bit deeper. But it still can't totally get to that third level. It might be like poking it with a pen, but you can't get there. At that third level is this nasty thing called biofilm. And if I say that word to you, you're like, I don't know what the heck that is, right?
Biofilm. What is biofilm? What is that?
It's a plaque on our teeth.
It's a plaque on your teeth. Biofilm is plaque on your teeth.
So it's a plaque on our teeth, but that lovely plaque attaches to literally everything. So it goes up your nose and it causes sinus infections, bronchitis, pneumonia, goes on your skin, causes eczema, psoriasis, rashes. It can go in your heart and cause endocarditis, catheter infections, orthopedic infections. So the moral of the story is this word biofilm, you definitely want to know because it's responsible for 80% of all disease and infection. I'll repeat that. Biofilm is responsible for 80% of all disease and infection. So if I said, do you want biofilm? If I asked you that question right now, you'd be like, no,
No.
get rid of it. I don't want it.
Biofilm bad.
Biofilm bad. So the moral of the story is we want to get rid of the biofilm and we want to use the right probiotics there because guess what? Just like your gut gets balanced with probiotics, you want to balance the surfaces and the air and your skin and your mouth and your pets. You want to do the same thing for them. So that's the solution that we're going to be talking about today because the beauty of all of the products that are in the P² line, each one of them goes to the microscopic level, gets rid of that biofilm, and then replenishes the correct amount of bacteria you need, which is 10 good ones to every one bad one.
So
Okay.
the magic number is 10 to 1. We want
10 to 1.
We want these little bacterium, good bacterium outnumbering the bad 10 to 1.
10 to 1. So when they go down to that microscopic level, picture a football field and a football in the middle and there's a scrimmage. Well, the probiotics win. So they get the ball, they outnumber the other team, and they take away all of the food source and shelter for superbugs like MRSA, E. coli, Salmonella, etc., deadly fungus, mold. Now, let me say this very clearly. We need bad bacteria, good bacteria, mold, fungus, and viruses because they all work symbiotically in a balanced microbiome. Okay? And when we don't have that, we have imbalance, we have dis-ease, we have infection, and we have inflammation. So almost 100% of us are walking around right now with inflammation. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're battling 250 pounds almost of environmental toxins annually. So this biofilm plays a big role in that. So we want to get rid of it, and we want to prevent it from coming back too, right? We don't want it back.
Right. We want to eliminate it, but we want to eliminate it in a way that the bad bacteria and the good bacteria exist peacefully
Play
together.
nicely in the sandbox.
But there's more good than there is bad by roughly 10 to 1, and then everything's in balance and everything's going good.
Right. So it sounds easier than it is to achieve that, and we know it's really hard to do that in our guts. But think about this. When we use an antibiotic and we kill everything and we don't replenish that good bacteria, it could take up to minimum 6 months to a year to replenish all of that. And it's very difficult to do that. So a lot of physicians are prescribing probiotics alongside the antibiotics so that we can get that balance back. Now, our environment, what's on the outside of us, has that exact same immune system. And we don't think about that, right?
No, we think about ourselves as these isolated like creatures, just living our lives and just separate from everything else.
Right. And bacteria is bad.
And bacteria is bad.
So we have to, just like in our guts, we have to replenish good bacteria in our environment. And especially with all of the disinfection and sanitization that's been going on. Mm-hmm. The New York Times 2 months ago actually put an article out that said the COVID cleaning measures that are being done, meaning bleach, disinfectant, so on and so forth, are actually creating more virulent strains of MRSA, which is CRE, so more virulent strains, and more virulent strains of fungus, Candida auris, which is the most virulent form that ate out walls and floors in hospitals. So moral of the story is, if there's never been a more important time to replenish good bacteria, and we've made it super easy for you. So that's the good news, there is a solution, and you feel good doing it. And you'll feel good doing it because the ingredients are simple, but they're very powerful. So that's pretty much
That's the short of it. Another way to think about it, Heather, is that the things that we've been doing, the things that we've been used to cleaning our houses with, and there's all kinds of brand names that you're familiar with, but if you just use the vinegar, a natural product as an example, what happens is it gives that appearance of clean, but it ultimately leaves kind of a film, a protected film in which bad bacteria can then grow.
Well, yes, that's true, especially since vinegar kills all the good and the bad. And I do want to say this because I know many of our customers use essential oils, and maybe a lot of people watching today. I love essential oils, so I'm not anti-essential oil, but you have to be very careful because even essential oils cannot discern between the good and the bad bacteria. So when you're using probiotic products, you have to be careful to alternate or use them at different times because of that. So I wanted to mention that also.
So just to make sure that I understand, all of these products are going to selectively work on bacteria. They're not going to just like wipe everything out and kill.
They don't even have the ability to do that. So that's that. Thank you for bringing that up. So none of our products kill anything. They starve what's there. And so when we don't have food, we die, right? But this happens instantaneously. You're not waiting days or minutes or hours for something to happen. So if you imagine time sped up, this is what's happening at the microscopic level. So it's really, really, really fast. So you get an instant reaction and result. So it's working, our products work for you immediately, but they also have a cumulative effect. So once you keep using them and the probiotics don't have to clean away as much biofilm, they can just maintain that balance, and you truly are getting a balanced microbiome out of it. Now, for those of you that don't know what a microbiome is, microbiome is all the living organisms within an environment living in a state, I'll call it, of euphoria. So it's balanced correctly, everything works, all the nutrients, everything works together symbiotically. And that is what a microbiome. So my microbiome is different from your microbiome, is different from your friend's microbiome. So we're all very unique that way. I know a lot of people have autoimmune disease at this point. In fact, about 60 to 70% of the population has autoimmune disease. And that's our customer base too, about 60 to 70 have autoimmune disease. The rest just want the safest, best natural products they can possibly find that do a little bit more than what is available in the marketplace. We do a lot more, but I'll just say a little bit more. But anyway, I don't want to go too much more into detail about biofilm because we're it's boring.
But that's an interesting point you made about the people with an autoimmune disease. And I remember you talked about in the earlier interview, these people kind of discovered you and your product. And that's how you ended up, really getting some momentum going with the company and with the customer base, because these people were maybe doing traditional medicines and trying to get themselves healthy and not, getting the results they wanted. And somehow or another in that community, people started using it and started seeing positive results.
Well, I'm living proof of that because I had chronic sinus infections for over 20 years and I was on antibiotics 6 times a year for over 20 years, and I wrecked my gut. I got urinary tract infections and yeast infections, and yeast is bad. I mean, it's very easy to build up yeast in your system and it takes over. It just multiplies like crazy. So it's like you don't want to let that linger. So I was just trying to figure out what to do. And that's kind of how I found out about soil probiotics. And I will show you the product that actually cured my sinus infections naturally. But I worked in hospitals and medical devices for 20 years also. And so I was around sterilization for 7 years, but I got into Chinese medicine when I was 15. So I did try the conventional route, but I always had my foot in the natural route. And I do think there are a lot of people like that. So this is great because we're not asking you to change all the products in your house to something you like never used before. Everybody should be using mouthwash because our mouth is the gateway to our brain and our gut. We all have to wash ourselves, right? We all have to clean.
Yep.
We have to take care of our pets. So why not do it in the best way possible?
So I think what we should do is do a little show and tell and show
Okay.
some of the products. So
Cool.
I'm going to start out with the two that I've been using. And this is to help you breathe. And then also the mouthwash, and basically we'll just call it the mouthwash. But tell us about what these products are.
Okay. So this is the product that got me off of all of my antibiotics. Okay. Now, the nice part about this product is it actually eats the excrement of the dust mite, which is what people are allergic to and can trigger sinus infections and asthma and everything else. So when I use this product, I'm going to try to do it down here. I actually spray up and it comes down. So I spray my bedding, my couch, my couch, my chair, remote control, doorknob, up. I don't want to make my face all wet right now, but I actually do like get it up in my nose and my ears, which is crucial. And all that's in here is a EPA, FDA GRAS, generally recognized as safe, spore-based probiotics, and organic spearmint and organic vanilla. That's it.
And it smells nice.
And it smells great,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like I said, this product is my favorite product, even though I love all of our products, just because I can't figure out how to put this, just because it got me off of all of my antibiotics. So.
And my 92-year-old father he loves this product. He's been using it, and he sprays his pillow each night, and he's had ear issues. And I'm just realizing as I was driving over here that he hasn't complained about his ears nearly as much lately, but he likes it and swears by it. I have also used this, but I like the mouthwash, and I've been using this on a regular basis, and I've been using it to swab my nose, and because this is like
this is our new labeling, by the way.
Each year in the spring, I end up having allergies. And so I'm really like, this is going to be a great test for me. So far, things have been nice and calm through the spring. We're maybe not at the height of the grasses and the trees at this point, but it's coming up real quickly.
I think we're getting really close because I was sneezing this morning, but.
Yeah.
So what's nice about the mouthwash is that it has many, many different uses. So you can use it as mouthwash. You can put it on your toothbrush to clean your toothbrush. You can soak your mouth guards, retainers, and if you have dentures, you can soak your dentures in it. Your contact lenses you can soak in this too as well.
Oh.
I didn't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
You can put it in a neti pot to actually, with a little saline, to clean your sinuses, especially if you're prone to sinus infections. And this is the first product I started with, so I didn't have it to do that at the time. But this did it by itself. But if you have even Marcons, this is going to help you because it also works against fungus and mold and things like that. All of our products help to control moisture, by the way, and odor. So that makes a big difference. And when you use any of the products, we have an immediate response with the immune system. So I think the reason this works so well is because it actually helped to retrain my immune system, because our immune system has memory, and it'll keep doing the same thing over and over again. which is the definition of insanity, but it'll keep doing it over and over again until you shock it, change it, or do something. And that's, by the way, that's why I always tell people when they're on supplements or vitamins or something, switch it up. Don't keep taking the same thing over and over again for, you know, a year and change it up. So this also, if you've got eczema or psoriasis or some skin issue, acne, you can actually take this, put it on a damp cotton ball and press it into the affected area. So it also takes residual eye makeup off, which is really nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. So, so there's just a couple of other, let's go to our four-legged creatures next.
Okay. So, pet shampoo. I mean, we have a shampoo because we got so many requests for it. And if you've got a pet that has really sensitive skin, this rinses totally clean. There's no residue whatsoever, and it soothes the skin. So we have a pet shampoo. Pet water additive. I actually put it in my dog's water and her food because I really want to make sure that I get it there. We've used this product in livestock for 12 years now, and it goes into the drinking lines, and even cows with 9 stomachs, the cheese gets healthier, the milk gets healthier. Farmers get paid more for their milk because we make the milk healthier. It takes plaque off the teeth. It also helps to balance the digestive system and keep the immune system in check. And strangely enough, when you use this, flies don't come around because the excrement doesn't smell, and that's kind of cool too.
This is a farmer's delight.
Yeah.
And now this one is kind of an aerosol, just like the Help You Breathe
Oh,
product.
and by the way, this product is safe enough to use with reptiles and exotic birds and things like that. Okay. Chickens, pig, everything. And then this is the odor and itch spray. And this actually takes skunk odor out. I am living proof. My dog got skunked really badly. So that's really good. And then
Everybody should have one of those.
yeah, no kidding. You should just keep it on hand.
Because when a skunk hits, you need help.
Oh yeah, you do. It's really bad. But this also is safe for dogs and cats and bunnies and birds and everything else. And this product is actually misted all over the barns. And turkeys have sensitive respiratory systems, and they get cholera and listeria. And when this is pumped in and they heat the barns, all that goes away. So it's kind of cool. So all of these have health benefits far beyond probably what you would think they would. But I use this just as a maintenance for my dog.
Okay.
To spray over her. And she's a cardigan corgi, so she's big ears. So I spray inside the ear and up the nose. And for your dogs that love to swim in lakes and everything else, really important. And that allergy spray is great for swimmers and people that get moisture in their ears too. The last 3, well, we'll talk about the skin spray is for cuts, burns, rashes, eczema, psoriasis. And I actually take a 3-pronged approach to psoriasis. I have people use, I don't have it, but I have people use the face, hand, and body wash, which should be at every sink in your house. Get rid of the antibacterial stuff, please, please, please. You're harming yourself and the environment. But this product, in conjunction with the mouthwash that I told you, you could press into that area, and you can follow with this skin spray. Everything we have is pH neutral, organic, and very simple ingredients, as I said. The only ingredients you'll find in our products are safe coconut detergent, naturally occurring enzymes, organic glycerin, organic vanilla, and organic spearmint. Nothing else. So that's pretty good too. This
cleaner, do we
this is a face, hand, and body wash.
do we use it out of this bottle, or do we create some kind of a little mixture?
Well, you can no, you don't want to do mixture. Good point. So these are in concentrate, and the probiotics are activated by water. So this is used just like a soap. So like
You put a couple drops on your hand.
a couple drops on your hand, or you can put it in like your sink dispenser, or you can put it in another dispenser with a pump.
Oh, but you're going to take
But
it
it's
full
like a
strength.
soap. Yeah, full strength, and then
Rub
water.
hand.
And
Gotcha.
yeah, thank you. Good point. And the other thing is in the shower, if you put this on a puff, it goes a lot further. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like the little puffs. So that's that.
Okay.
And then, by the way, this skin spray, I want to go back to it. You can use it as a deodorant. So it's a great alternative for that. And it does control moisture. Ladies, for our personal private parts, it really is nice. It keeps us fresh and everything else. And it's pH neutral, as I said. So if you've got issues with yeast infections and bladder infections and things like that, this is really important for you. And then last but not least, is our washer additive. Now, this goes into the fabric softener dispenser. You could use it as a detergent, but it would be super expensive. The nice part is it'll take all the residue off of the detergent and clean the heck out of your washing machine. And for those of you that have front loading washers, I'll put this front. It is amazing. It keeps mold and smell, odors and everything. If you have stinky towels, this will actually, because it'll take that out of the stinky towels, all the odor and smoky stuff, and it actually works on stains, so you can pre-treat with it. And you will notice a difference in your clothes. I can't explain it, but when you feel, you will feel it. You absolutely will feel it. If you wash on warm and then you dry on low, you'll keep the probiotics in your clothes for days too.
Wow.
I don't see the surface cleaner here.
I was thinking one time I left my towels in the I left my towels in the washing machine for like maybe 3 days after I did them, before I decided to move them to the dryer, and they didn't smell very good. No, so that probably something like that
would have helped you.
That would have been good to restore.
So people with front loading washers, they get that pooling stuff. A lot of people have gotten rid of those because of that, but this will clean it right up.
Yeah, perfect.
And then last but not least, because we didn't have it out here, this is the surface cleaner, all-in-one surface cleaner. And this is an amazing product because, again, going back to livestock, when they clean in barns normally, they have to wear hazmat suits. So when they clean with ours, they don't wear hazmat suits or gloves or anything else. And you don't need to wear gloves or a hazmat suit to use the cleaner either. So it also has multiple uses. So it is a concentrate, 1 teaspoon per 16 ounces of water. And this bottle makes 9 gallons. So it's extremely economical. And when you apply it, so you spray and wipe, when you apply it, it actually keeps cleaning for a week. There's nothing else that does that. So it's cleaning that biofilm away that we talked about. And you can use it on your fruits and vegetables. You can use it as your dish soap to clean your pots and pans. It cleans sports equipment. By the way, that breeze spray should be sprayed over sports equipment and stuffed animals and stuff too. But a little goes a long way, and it cleans like the dickens. And again, it has a cumulative effect. So you can use it on counters, floors, bathroom, everything, kitchen, everything. And you'll want to. You can clean your coffee pot with it as well, which is really
It's
important.
all in one.
It's
It
all
cleans
in
all.
one.
I'm the industrial version of this. They replaced guys in hazmat suits spraying chemical into barns. Now think about that. Then the cows go back into those barns after the guys with the hazmat suits are doing it. There's got to be like some residual stuff there. And then that's what Heather was describing about how the yields in the cows got healthier and the milk quality improved and everything goes on. So imagine your life being healthier because your environment is cleaner and has healthy spores around and healthy, it's just taking care of things.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but even in the midst of COVID and everything, because I knew I had these probiotics and in the environment, and viruses live in biofilm. And I'm going to be very clear, we haven't tested directly against COVID, even though we're close to doing that. But I want to make that clear. But I want you to think in terms of what you're using and why you're using it and how you're using it. And these products offer the absolute most natural, safest, best alternative to disinfection and sanitization that's in the market right now. In fact, it can do more than that can do, but.
Yeah. So if the other products that we've traditionally have been using have really just been masking these bad things, bad things are at us more and more and more. So let's not mask them. Let's go ahead and eliminate them at the microscopic level.
Well, remember this too. Bacteria always have the first and the last word. So everything starts with bacteria and ends with bacteria. And as an example, with COVID, the final stage is bacterial pneumonia. So it's not viral. So think about that and think about the fact that if we kill bacteria or mold or fungus or viruses, we make them stronger.
So they keep coming back, and we're hearing about that where different things are coming back, mutating as a different version. So they're here to stay. So having a cleaner environment. So when I'm out traveling around the country, living in my RV, I'm going to, give, and people are going to come in there. I'm going to, use these cleaning products, surface cleaner to clean all of the areas. I'll be, there'd be little sprays there, and it's just going to be a nice little healthy environment for people to come in and visit with me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds great, Steve.
So, well, this was fun. It was fun to go through the products. The first two interviews we did, we talked a lot about the biofilm. We talked about the cows and the hazmat suits, and we got into the science more. And so we wanted to just at least explain the products a little more. I think it's great. I think this is I asked when we first started this conversation months ago, I said, why is this not more well known? And of course it's, there's incentives for people to keep doing it the way they've been doing it. And you are doing your best to get it out there. And I'm happy to be part of sharing.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a pleasure. I love him. He's awesome and he's doing a great job. And
thank you.
So much fun.
So what we're going to do is we'll wrap up. We'll just leave it at that. I did put a link in the show notes to that will take you directly to the website and the pages that you can try the product out. I encourage you to do that. I like it. This is not a paid promotion. This is just something that we thought, hey, this is fun. I'm trying to find interesting people doing or ordinary people doing something extraordinary. And this is extraordinary because you basically solved the problem for yourself first and foremost. And then you went, oh my gosh, there's a better mousetrap here. And so let's start. And so it's been a journey for you to build these products and to get it out and to make it work. And you're growing. You're moving to a new warehouse. You keep on adding more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it has been a journey. It's been a great journey. And I want to just iterate that we're here to serve you. Like my customer, I speak to probably at least 60% of my customers, and we have thousands of customers, but it's important to me. And
there's some great testimonials on the website. Yeah. Go check it out.
Yeah. So. Well, anyway.
All righty.
It's been fun.
Well, this was fun. My first live remote, and I got to be at P Squared, and we got to go through the products. And Heather, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing this. We'll do it again. We'll keep as you keep adding new products, and we'll have you back, and we'll talk about it some more.
Fun.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
All righty. Well, that's it. We're going to wrap up here. It looks like everything was working out okay. And Heather, come back here. You got, looks like Tara is, look at the nice comment she's leaving there. She says, you look so beautiful.
Oh, I love my friend. Thank you, Tara.
There you go. All righty. Well, that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and close this show down. Let me tell you what's happening tomorrow. Tamara Fleming, The Meaning of Space, she'll join us. I'll be back in the Gumption headquarters studio, and then on Thursday, Gwen Peterson's Spiritual Communities Network, and then Friday, Victoria Reynolds, her own personal Declaration of Independence, and we're going to go through that. So have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.